Can anybody guess what is there in this?
Sweets. Toys.
Toys.
Diwali crackers.
Diwali crackers.
Mementos.
Mementos.
Gift for all of us.
Nothing.
Nothing.
We'll see in a minute. We do what we do with all the gifts that we get, right? Wrappers, wrappers, wrappers. What we have is wrappers here. My dear Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. It seems it is just not possible to get anything in this world without some grand packaging, wrapping, making it exotic. No wonder the packaging industry has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. Take for example food. When you buy provisions, when you buy articles which are of daily use, food items, they get stacked up with great attractive packaging like this. When you go to buy candy for your kids, small little candies which were earlier available in these glass bottles, where the guy would put his hand and pull them out, shopkeepers. Nowadays you get them in nice gift wrap stuff, and who can resist the visual appeal of a nicely packaged Ferrero Rocher? Even the most ardent fan of dieting or most ardent diet follower would succumb to the visual appeal from a nicely packaged chocolate. Coming to some of those breakfast cereals, you would see a 3-layered packing. You would find something very attractive, very informative stuff, followed by some more stuff internally like these. And one thing that you would notice is that most of the packaging you would see is either silver in color or golden in color. What are they trying to tell you? They're trying to tell you that the material inside is worth something more than what it is possibly. Well, moving on to garments and clothes, once again, any ready-made garment that you buy would be nicely wrapped up with some sashes and boxes and appealing visually. And take the inner garments, the more inner they are, the greater the packaging. Somehow trying to tell you that since you can't show it off to anybody else, you should think of it as a great present to yourself, and then it has this visual appeal of a nice big packaging. Well, recently I had a guest from China, and he gave me a present. Of course, the wrapper was much better than this. I had put my own wrapper on this. Let's look at what this is. In a box like this, so I thought it must be some kind of a Chinese figurine inside or something. So I opened this. There was one more. So I opened this. There was one more. So I took this out and I tried to see what it is. It was just the regular tea powder that one would get in any of these shops. I was perhaps a lucky guy because a colleague of mine got a similar present, but it just turned out to be a dried fish, which was actually stinky. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the appeal of an exotic wrapping that you can think of. Well, so far we have been seeing mostly the physical wrappers. A wrapper which is an inanimate object, something which surrounds another item which is usually of a greater value, and once the recipient receives it, would discard the wrapper and then use the material inside. That's the idea of the wrapper. Can you think of any other type of wrappers?
joke works.
Metaphorically speaking, we use wrappers all the time when we are communicating. We wrap our messages in, presentation. So you have a message which you want to communicate, and you would hunt for introductions and preludes and preambles and so on. You would sugarcoat your statement so that the person who is receiving does not get offended. You would actually beat around the bush when you're not able to figure out how to present the material that you have, the message that you have. All these indicate that presentation of the message that you're giving is exactly like how you would gift wrap something as ordinary as what I got, perhaps, but in an exotic packaging. Well, we have gift wrapping even in Toastmasters. The Toastmaster tradition says that evaluation is usually a sandwich mechanism. What is essential is identifying the areas of improvement and presenting them. But our evaluators nicely gift wrap it and present it to us such that it becomes highly palatable and acceptable, and a present which improves the overall acceptability and going into the inside and collecting the material that is basically the message, which is the area for improvement. And I am waiting for my present. Over to you.